Hi guys, this is Rich Acosta with My City is My Home. If you like the contents of this video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button so that way you can continue to see our videos. And if you need help with any of our resources with homeowners protesting your property taxes or renters looking for new homes to rent, please go to mycityismyhome.com and thank you very much. All right, this is part 2 of our video series on bcad.org. This one's going to be focusing on property tax evaluations. So again, when you want to look up your property tax valuation, go to property search. Then you go ahead and you click, type in your address. And for this example, we're going to be using Bexar County's generic property. In the last video, I told you about the different things here to look out for, especially making sure that you have your exemptions and how to figure out what the different letters are and everything, which is very important to make sure you have your homestead exemption if that's your primary address. And now on to values. Now I know there's nothing but zeros here, but for most of you homeowners, you would be seeing an amount here under improvements and then an amount here for land. Now, improvements just means improvements to the land. So if you put a piece of concrete on the land, it's going to show up as an improvement. And of course, the land is just what the value of the land is only. Now, honestly, we do not care what these values are at all. What we want to see is what the market value is. And this market value is according to what Bexar County Appraisal District is suggesting what the market value is. And this is the value that you should then be trying to protest, right? We don't care what this value is, and we don't care what this value is. Even if this value is lower than this market value, that does not mean you shouldn't protest your property taxes. If you feel that this market value is incorrect, then you need to protest your property taxes. See, what this assessed value is after, if you have your homestead exemption, which means that any homeowner can apply for the homestead exemption as long as they own the home and is their primary home of residence. And then they apply for the homestead exemption, and it will stop your property tax valuation from increasing more than 10% each year. So what you'll see is any of the property valuation in excess of 10% will show up right here. So for example, if your market value was $100,000 in 2019, and then in 2020, it was $115,000. The excess of $110,000 would show up here, which would be $5,000. So you would show $115,000 here, $5,000 here, and $110,000 here. And that would be your assessed value where your tax rate would be applied to in the taxing jurisdictions. But again, if you've lived in the home for many years, this value may be very, very small compared to this market value. But as soon as you move out of that home and it's no longer your primary residence, for example, if you downsized your home and you are going to rent this home, that homestead exemption or senior freeze or 100% disabled veteran exemption, those all go away and you would be paying off of this market value. Also, if you plan on passing your home to an heir, again, your exemptions would go away and they would be, the new heirs would be paying that new market value. We find a lot of issues with this with family members that get their home from a loved one, and the loved one was paying a very small amount in property taxes, but then they're surprised at their new property tax bill because they didn't know that the assessed value was so much lower than what they were showing as a market value. We tell senior citizens, disabled veterans, and really anybody with exemptions that that they should protest their property taxes for really 3 reasons. First off, for yourself. So that way you could lower your property tax value to the lowest amount possible. For the example of senior citizens, you may see under taxing jurisdictions, your taxes are frozen in a tax ceiling bar that would be located right here. And you would notice that the San Antonio River Authority and the University Health System are blank in those 2 spots because the San Antonio River Authority and University Health System never freeze. So their property taxes portions will continue to increase. So those property increases might not be noticeable to some of you, but some of you that need funds to pay for your medicine and groceries, an extra dollar in paying in property taxes more than what you should be is a dollar too much. And so that's the first reason why you should protest your property taxes, to continue to keep it as low as possible. The second reason why you should always at least assess whether or not you should protest your property taxes is in case you're going to pass this to a loved one or you plan on downsizing and renting the home. In either case, again, those exemptions are going to go away and you'll have the current exemptions that you're paying, and then you'll see what the value, the taxes would be without the exemptions. And so to try to keep the taxes without exemptions as low as possible is another reason why you should protest your property taxes. And the third reason is for your community. When there's not enough properties for sale in the area, well, Bexar County will have to rely on the home values in the area off of equity. And if you've never protested your property taxes, your home could be raising the values of your community. So those are 3 good reasons to protest your property taxes. And if you're interested in getting help with protesting your property taxes, again, you can visit mycityismyhome.com to gain access to our free services. And if you liked what you've seen here today, please hit the like button, subscribe, and also consider donating so that way we can continue doing these services. Thank you very much and have a great day.